I think the importance of art in community is astronomical. There's so many ways to bring people together through art, whether it just be, oh, I like that painting, or oh, this painting or statue. I'm thinking specifically of like downtown. Like near Fat Cat, they have a couple of different statues. Have those can speak to different people in different ways, and it helps unite these people that maybe come from different backgrounds.
Craft Your Life is a radio show for the tenacious, the bold, and those who refuse to settle for mediocrity. We bring together visionaries, game changers, and relentless go-getters who are crafting their lives, businesses, and relations in pursuit of excellence. If you are ready to shatter limits, embrace the amazing, and live life on your own terms, this show is for you. Each episode delivers actionable insights, inspiring stories, and unfiltered conversations that will ignite your drive to win a life worth dying for. Tune in and get ready to live viciously. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Craft Your Life radio show. I'm your host, Matt Kuehlhorn. Today we have Ashleigh Cobb of Grand Junction. She's not just an artist, she's a local visionary with an e-shop that's as authentic and bold as our community. Stay tuned as we chat with Ashleigh about her journey, her process, how she transforms everyday moments into works of art. Get ready to be inspired because here at Craft Your Life Radio, we're all about making life extraordinary. Ashleigh, welcome into the studio.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining. Tell us and the listeners, where are you beaming in from?
I'm actually from Clifton, Colorado, so I'm beaming in from there.
Awesome. Clifton, Colorado. Beautiful day out here today. Is this also where you grew up?
It's not actually. I moved here in 2023. We moved to Clifton from North
2023.
Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay. What part of North Carolina did you grow up in?
Jacksonville area near Camp Lejeune, that big Marine Corps base.
Cool. What was childhood like?
Childhood was full of a lot of people coming and going. Living in a Marine Corps town, you never really get too used to anybody being around because there's always different stations and whatnot, different deployments going on.
Yeah. When you really found art, was that in childhood?
Yes, I was always an artistic child, and the earliest memory I have is being in a crochet club that my school hosted when I was like maybe 6 or 7.
Amazing. And I would imagine, I have my kids are a little bit older now, they're teenagers, but I could remember being a child. I saw my kids as children. I feel like children are just all natural artists. And
Mhm.
then a lot of us grow up and kind of move away from it. That's what I've seen.
A lot of us get into the idea that to do art, you have to be good at it. And that's not the case at all. As long as you're having fun and creating, that's what art is.
I love that. Give us a little bit of summary of your journey. So, grew up in North Carolina, moved into Clifton, Western Slope, Colorado area. What
Mhm.
was, can you give us some of the kind of the dots that connect the two?
My best friend Abby actually lived out here. She's from here. So we came out to visit and we just fell in love with it. And it was just something so different from being on the coast of North Carolina to come to the mountains. And we just fell in love and decided to move within 2 weeks.
That's pretty ballsy. That's big moves. That's big
It took a
moves.
lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about this idea of art. You mentioned like everybody can be an artist. It's not always about
being quote unquote good because there's a lot of relativity to art, like art's in the eye of the beholder. Um, and yet it's about a creative expression. So how did, for most people that are artists as kids and we grow quote unquote out of it, how did it stay with you? How did you stay with it?
I've always found it was a really great way for me to relax and come to terms with maybe some of the things in my life that I didn't have control over. I am a big advocate for mental health. I myself struggle with depression and anxiety, so that's always been a way for me to tune into my emotional well-being, center myself, and get into a good headspace. And I think it's a wonderful way for anybody struggling to do that.
Hmm, that's such a solid point. All right. Actually, I want to know a little bit nuts and bolts, if you will, or pen and brush. But let's say there's a listener out right now listening to this, and maybe they're experiencing something that you just hit on. Maybe they're feeling a little depressed or a little anxiety. And how does art, like, what would you tell that person in the moment of, having that emotional response and then utilizing art as a gateway, if you will? What are some practical steps?
I would say the number one thing to do in that situation would be to turn on some of your favorite music and just put the pen or the brush, whatever medium you're using, to work for you. Like, if I were in that state right now, I would grab my pen and paper and have my music blasting next to me and just draw what made me feel better. It doesn't have to be something fantastic. It could just be a stick figure, you know, doing holding a rock because that's what it feels like you're doing. And it it just has the power to uplift you, being able to put that down and express yourself that way.
Mm, I love that. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure, to be entirely honest with you. That's a lot more like getting into the theory behind art, and I am by no means well versed in that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some neurology in there too. I was just talking with my wife Annie over this weekend, and when I grew up, in my like teen years, I had charcoal pencils, and I just love
Mhm.
the pencils sketching, right? And I was like, I need to get another set of charcoal pencils and get back into that, and just spend some time and allow my mind to kind of go into the right side of the brain.
Exactly. Just let yourself explore what's there, and, you're never gonna be disappointed exploring your own mind. You may unlearn new things that you didn't think possible about yourself.
What would you say as a tip of getting out of our own way, kind of like what we mentioned earlier in the conversation was, as kids, like we're just artists. Like in some ways, that's what humans are. We're just here to create art. Some of us are building businesses, some of us put things down on canvases, others like create families, whatever you could look at it, you could argue everything's art and we're just free flowing art. But then, as we get adults, we get into like the regimented, like this is what an adult's supposed to be and kind of lose some of the creative flair maybe. But how do we how do we re-engage, get out of our own way and find a medium? What would be your recommendations there?
I would say my recommendation for that would be just to try something. Go to the craft store, go to the Dollar Tree even. You don't have to spend a ton of money to do art. That's what's great about art. Go to the dollar store. They have plenty of materials for you to just pick up and throw something at the wall and see what sticks. And you never know what you're gonna find.
Yes, literally. What are some of your favorite mediums?
My favorite medium has got to be diamond art, I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, so explain diamond art to me because I haven't really seen that. Is that literally
Really?
okay, wait. Maybe I have seen this. Um, maybe I've seen it. The, like, little tiny diamonds that kinda stick on the
Hmm.
page, and there's subtly different colors, and is that
That's
what
exactly right.
oh, man, tedious.
Yeah, that's what my husband says too.
So, okay, talk to us a little bit because maybe some of our listeners haven't heard about this, but I think if I'm thinking about this, my wife got almost a printout, and it's almost a paint by numbers kind of thing, or it can be. Um, but how do you
Yeah.
play with that medium? I mean, are you just crafting with a zillion trays of diamond colors and putting stuff together? Are you following something? What are the different realms for that?
So I personally follow patterns. I can make my own, but I don't really like to for this particular application. So I prefer having a grid with pre-slotted diamonds in the colors I need to make that work of art come to life. And I mean, even if you're doing that, there's tons of room for customization, switching out different colors. You can add in words if you wanted to, images, whatever you want. But you can also just freehand it as well. There's materials for that. So,
Are there different size diamonds? Because I've only seen one tiny size.
yes and no. For the most part, they're all one size,
Okay.
but you do have some specialty diamonds that can get bigger.
Yeah. Amazing.
Hey everybody, this is Luke from Cooler Garage Doors. Just want to take a quick second to talk about our sponsor, Sommer Garage Door Openers. In our opinion, Sommers are the highest quality product on the market today. We recommend them for all of our residential garage door installs because of the variety of features they include, such as Wi-Fi connectivity and safety features such as a fixed chain, which moves along a secure rail to ensure your garage door opens quietly and safely. Click on the link in the description to learn more about Sommer Garage Door Openers.
Amazing. So yeah, anybody interested in diamond art could get a pattern, jump right into it,
Yes.
and enjoy
Yes. It
the
doesn't take any massive setup at all to get started.
yeah. That would honestly, after watching my wife in that, that would honestly be very difficult for me. And I would also imagine like not unhealthy. Like that'd be a healthy in a way to slow me down, kind of fine tune that presence.
It is a great way to center yourself and actually be in the moment.
Yeah. How do you feel about the importance of art in community?
I think the importance of art in community is astronomical. There's so many ways to bring people together through art, whether it just be, oh, I like that painting, or oh, this painting or statue. I'm thinking specifically of like downtown. Like near Fat Cat, they have a couple of different statues. Have those can speak to different people in different ways, and it helps unite these people that maybe come from different backgrounds.
Hmm. How is our local art community from your perspective?
As someone who hasn't been here too long, I would say this is one of the better art communities I've been in because we do actually have it around here. I know growing up in North Carolina, we didn't have a ton of statues like we do here. So to me, it's really nice that the focus is there.
I love that. Are there any local groups that you are a part of or that know of for anybody that's looking to get kind of engaged more with other fellow artists?
Yes, Facebook has a ton of different groups that you can be a part of, like the Grand Junction community message boards. I'm a part of those places. You can follow my page, the Crafters Playground. Uh, you can see that and join like-minded artists. Um, You can take a look at different websites.
Love it. I was going to go check out your page right now because I don't think I saw that earlier. I love your name, by the way, the Crafter's Playground.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I see some diamond art. Amazing. I love it. All right,
Well,
we're
thank
definitely
you.
gonna include this um in our show notes so people can go check this out along with your website.
Well,
So it looks
thank you.
like,
I do
yeah,
appreciate
it looks
that.
like you're into the diamond art and crocheting.
Yes,
Um,
and we did just launch at the beginning of February. So we're still getting all of our product up on the website.
yeah, I love it. It looks like you're also offering crafting sessions.
I do. So if people just want to have somebody to talk to, there's somewhere they can book for that. Or if you're wanting to learn how to do something, as long as it's something I can, get my hands on, I can usually help people learn. I call it guided learning because I don't want to say I'm the teacher. We're learning together.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of guiding that inner artist to come out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I copy. That makes sense. Okay, let's kind of summarize a little bit and break this down again for our listeners. So, um, art, you feel that it is important to engage with art on a personal level. What would be the top two reasons that would be a
The
high
top
priority as
two.
of why important?
So definitely for your mental health, it's a great way to check in that way. And it's also a great stress reliever.
I love that. Yeah, and I would add, I mean, to me, just presence arises, like, because it can really quiet the mind. Especially, I mean,
Hmm.
as long as we're not putting pressure on ourselves to be like an artist, right? Like,
Right.
I feel
You
like
got to
there's a
break
fine line
that.
there. Yeah, there's a little fine line there. I mean, if you're an artist, you're creating, you're letting go, you're in presence, you're in the moment, versus trying to be an artist, which is like trying to put together something that fits the mold of whatever it being, a portrait or a drawing or something. But um,
Yeah. When you
so
push yourself too hard, you're going to hit a wall creatively. And that's not being an artist because that's not authentic. Once you kind of let go of those inhibitions, that's when you really start to see your creativity come to life. And that's when you can say, hey, I arted today.
I love that. All right, so we've established a little bit of importance, and I heard that. I'm gonna go find my charcoal pencils after this convo. Um, but let's talk about like putting it on the ground. So a lot of folks that are listening are busy. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, part of it's like I'm answering my own question. Like, how do we allocate time? Well, one of it is like seeing the importance and understanding that there is some reality to just allowing oneself the creativity, expression, with no boundaries and just flow in whatever medium makes sense, right? Um,
Mhm.
but talk to us a little bit. What are some ideas you have on folks that maybe aren't thinking of themselves as artists? Like, how do we go about not just allocating the time, like putting it on our calendar, but identifying mediums or what's an easy medium to start out in? Or, because I can imagine some people could make this thing a huge mountain to climb and thus never climb it. But how do we break it down, make it easy?
Hmm. The easiest way is to honestly just go grab some Play-Doh. Just go grab like a little 4-pack of them and see what you can do. Get your hands dirty. And it doesn't take long to play with Play-Doh and create
Yes.
something. It's
Yes.
only asking 10 minutes of your time.
Yes. That's actually a really refreshing answer. That's awesome. Thank you. Because you're right. I mean, when you mentioned Play-Doh, I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Because here I am thinking about brushes. And I mean, if you walked into a real craft show or craft store, it could get overwhelming really quick.
It could.
But
Unless
you
you know specifically what you're looking for, you're going to get lost in Michael's. It
totally,
happens to me all the time.
totally. But here's the tip for the listener. Here, I think we could summarize this potentially with this. You tell me, Ashleigh, but I think there's a real importance to engaging with the creative, with the childlike, with the artist that's within all of us. And Play-Doh, I could see the colors, I can smell that stuff, like how visceral of a childhood memory just Play-Doh. And that alone can bring you into that space and open up that creative flow and bring that presence that can thus just relax, de-stress, kind of wind down the system so that we can thus go forth and kind of manage life and craft life and deal with whatever else is on our plate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's lovely. I love the idea of Play-Doh. I want to get some for my office. That's so good. Ashleigh, where can folks find you, look at your e-store, learn from you, whether it's booking a session or seeing what you've got going on? Where do people find you?
Well, you would find me at www.thecraftersplayground.com, or you can find me in the Crafters Playground on Facebook as well.
Amazing. The Crafters Playground. Like I said, I love that name. I really appreciated this conversation. What would be, I guess, final thoughts for you from an artist to other artists?
I'd have to say, just do it. Quit being afraid and just dive in and do it. You're going to be happier once you do.
It's time to go art a little, people. Time to get your Play-Doh,
Exactly.
get your pencils.
Get your Play-Doh out, get some
Yeah.
finger paints. Try the diamond art even, go crazy.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, my wife did the diamond art, and then she did paint by colors. But these weren't like the ones I remembered growing up with. I mean, they were a fine, thin little paint
Yeah. They've
acrylics.
gotten a lot more refined.
Yeah. But even coloring books, like there's some amazing coloring books for realistic or even abstract or whatever. So amazing. Ashleigh, I really appreciate just the gifts of creativity you brought into the conversation. And we'll include all your links in our show notes. And I encourage listeners to come out and find you. I encourage everybody listening to sit down and do a little art today.
Well, thank you again so much for having me. And I hope, I was able to shed some light on this artistic topic for you.
It was beautiful. I appreciate you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
I am incredibly humbled and honored. I can't believe I'm saying this. We have over 2,400 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we're just growing. It is amazing. And your likes, your subscribes, and your shares have helped us get here. So let's grow this thing together and just know that you are appreciated.